seen it before. It turns truth into lies. Oh, but I won't back down. I must stay on this road. I gotta know what I'm about. It goes up and turns back down. We're all looking for the moment when getting used to not knowing when all the pieces fall in line. Oh, it goes up and turns back down. I keep searching for signs in my dreams back then. I don't know how to stop, 'cause it brings back the feeling that
What is going on? Welcome everybody to this
Hi, guys.
special Market
Welcome.
Your Message show. This is my wife Charity,
Hello.
and this is a special live episode because the new book is officially out. So
Yay.
Your Message Matters book is now available for purchase. Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Target, Walmart,
Wherever else. I don't even
bunch of places. You can get a copy, which is really exciting. So this is a special show. I've invited Charity to hang out with us for the pre-party. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching from the book today. So if you've already got the book, or the book is on its way, or you haven't got the book yet, I'm going to do a little bit of teaching today, just kind of an overview of this book. And maybe that'll help you decide whether the book is right for you. And then Charity will come back for the after party. And I'm going to take the middle portion and I'm going to publish it as a podcast this week, letting our podcast listeners know that the book is out. And so that's the plan today. Guys, if you would, go ahead and put your first name, where you're watching from, so we can say hello to you. We see we got a bunch of people on. We're currently broadcasting this in 5 different locations: YouTube, Twitter, 3 different places in Facebook, 2 Facebook pages, 1 Facebook group. But it's all centralized coming in here so that we can say hello to you. But you need to let us know that you're here. So put your first name and who is here so we can say hello to you. All right, we got Phil here. Phil says, good to see you, Charity, again. I like that your family's close and shows such joy together. Yeah, last night we did a virtual book party. That's why we have these
You gotta move your head.
balloons.
There you go.
Balloons hanging around. It was a lot of fun last night. We did a virtual book party and gave away a bunch of stuff. It was a lot of fun. Also, let's see here. We've got Denny here.
Hi, Denny.
Welcome. Glad that you're here hanging out with us. She says, looking forward to seeing you again tonight. Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second.
Good.
We are doing something special this week for the launch of this book, and I'll tell you about that in a second if you haven't heard. Paul Price is here. He is on Facebook from Calgary. Glad that you are here.
Welcome.
And Phil has some kind words. He said, anyone that's not bought Jonathan's book yet, it is total gold. Thank you, Phil.
Go get it.
Appreciate that for sure. Also, if you're new here, if this is your first time, just put the word new in the chat so we know this is your first time catching this show. This is a weekly show we do called Market Your Message, and we've done about 23, 24 episodes so far, but today is a special edition of the Market Your Message show.
Because I'm here.
She's here.
Is that really what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we're talking about the book.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything you want to say about the book?
It's crazy getting this book in the mail after seeing John working so hard, writing, off to the side and waking up early on family vacation and writing in the morning so that he can hang out with the family in the afternoon, and getting all the edits and just late nights, long days working to actually see it in hand with his name on it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun for our family and our kids to have the book. My daughter's away at college, and my wife flew up there, and her and a bunch of her friends that she's met were all like, we want a copy of the book. So poor Charity had to load up her backpack with books.
It was a very light backpack coming home.
I was going to say, it's a lot lighter coming home, wasn't it? So yeah, that's we're excited about this book getting out there, and really, really our prayer and our hope is that it can be an encouragement to you. And what I'll say, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but really what I wanted for this book is I wanted the first half of the book to be a self-development book. Because I could teach you the marketing tactics, I could teach you the things, the tools that you can do to grow your list, to grow your audience. But if you're not right in your head, or if you just don't know what your message is, or you haven't defined it yet, or you don't know what your gifts are, you got to start there first. So it's one half personal development. The second half is the marketing techniques and tools and strategies I've used for the last 10 years to build my audience. And these are accessible to anyone. I'm just a former high school teacher who had a passion for trying to do something online. And if I can do it, you can absolutely do it as well. All right, got some more people. Paul says, hi, Charity.
Hi, Charity. Don't skip Fred.
Oh, Fred is here. He said, listening
Eyes on the road, Fred.
while traveling. Well, maybe he's not driving.
I don't know. Just be safe.
Yes, very true. Denny says, so glad to see everyone, especially Charity. My book is out for delivery.
Oh, yay.
That's always fun. I know.
I love getting mail.
Oh, yeah.
I like to order things just so I can get something in the mail.
Yeah, pretty much every day.
Often. Well, it's Christmas time.
Okay, so tell everybody about that, because lately every package I get at the front door says Christmas Milligan. I'm like, is there a child I don't know about?
Oh, Lord. No. So John has worked from home for years, right? So I will come home and he'll be like, oh, I opened up this package and I showed it to Jordan because it looked like it was for him. And I'm like, yes, it's for him for Christmas. So now anything that I buy for Christmas, it says Christmas Milligan, and that means don't open it. And then if you are the appropriate person, I can show you. So like later I can show you what it is, but don't open it and show it to the youngins.
Yeah, so
It's for them.
We had like 4 or 5 packages piled up on our kitchen nook area,
When I got
breakfast nook, when she got back from visiting out of town. And we're like, these are all the packages to say Christmas Milligan. I guess we can't touch these, so we won't open them.
That's right.
So anyway, cool.
And I gave you one of them early.
Yeah, you did, and I should have brought it up here to show everybody, but that's okay. Maybe I'll talk about it in a second. Steve's here. He says, congrats on the new book release. Watching
Steve.
from Michigan. Paul says, see, Charity told you would write a book. Now you have written. You should send a copy
You've
of
written
that to
2,
your...
he said.
Oh, now you've written 2, yeah. You should send a copy to your English 101 professor. Yes.
Hey.
I don't know if she's still there or not, but I have thought about it.
That's funny.
She wouldn't remember.
No.
And if you don't know the story, got to read the book, got to get the book, got to read it in the book.
Oh, you little teaser.
But basically, I had my English, basically it was creative writing 101 class, where the professor told me, Jonathan, don't become a writer. Writing's not your thing. And I was like, is she joking? Is she serious? She's serious. What? I'm enjoying writing. How could you do that?
That just snuffed you for a little while.
It did. But, yeah. Anyways, we're moving on.
Oh, good, Gwen. She likes my idea.
Oh, now we got other people using the idea.
Go for it.
Feel free to ship. Oh, she said feel free to ship lots to me.
Okay, I didn't see that.
So Christmas
That's
Marasco.
funny.
She'll give you the address as well.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Faye
Hi,
says
Faye.
hello. Can't wait to read it. Awesome. Okay, so a couple quick announcements. Then I'm going to do the show portion, and then we'll bring the real show back, Charity, for the after show
There you
and
go.
answer questions. And maybe she'll even answer some questions if you got questions
Hey.
for her.
I'll do my best. I don't always do well on put on the spot, but
Well, one of the questions
do have things
we'll
to
tackle
say.
this maybe later, but one of the questions I've heard over and over again is, Jonathan, what do you do when you're married and you want to pursue blogging or podcasting, or you want to spend some time on this thing, and you have a spouse that's maybe doesn't get it, doesn't understand, doesn't know why you are doing this? And thankfully, I was never in that scenario, but that's maybe something we can talk about after.
okay.
So
Say hi
I'll
to
give you-
Kayla before you.
I'll give you some time. Oh, and everybody, Kayla Milligan is in the house all
Hi,
the
sweet
way
girl.
from Lynchburg, Virginia, watching and tuning in on Facebook. Awesome. So a couple quick things. The first one is I made this announcement to my email list, but I want to make it here because I think I did tease it out first on this show last week. But in case you missed it, we are giving away free copies of the book. So here's the thing. I purchased a whole pallet of books. It was actually around 1,024 copies of my own book. Yes, I paid for it with my own money. I did get an author discount, so I didn't pay regular price, but I did pay a good amount of money to buy books. And all I ask for you to do is to just pay the shipping. So you can actually go right now to marketyourmessage.com/free book and order a free copy. Just pay the shipping. And
What's the shipping?
Shipping $7.95. So
There you go.
that's the price that we set. We sent it to a warehouse. The warehouse set the price that they will ship out the book anywhere. Now that currently this is only in the U.S., potentially Canada, but I can't say for sure. But this right now is only in the U.S. We're hoping to figure out how to do it internationally. Although I've had international people say, Jonathan, I just went over to Amazon, got it on the Kindle for $9.95.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the route you need to go. If you're in France or if you're overseas somewhere right now, just go to Amazon, do it on Kindle, and you can get access to it today for about, I think last I
I
checked,
think
it
it's
was
$9 something.
yeah, it was only like $9 to get the book on Kindle. So you need to get a but a paperback copy, just like the one I have right here, sent to your address for $7.95, or get it for $9.95. That's how you can get it. Or you can go to the bookstore, pay $16.95, or you can get the hardcover for $29.95, but that's your choice.
Sure.
All right.
We just want you to have the book. So,
Yeah, I want to get this book out there. That's why. And once right now, I don't plan on buying anymore. I mean, I bought 1,024 copies.
So we really need those to be gone for sure. We really do.
We've already sold several hundred. I don't even know what the exact number is, but we are already in the hundreds of shipping out these free books.
Yay.
So I don't know if this is like going to last another week. I also have some partners, some affiliate friends who are sharing that with their list. And the moment I can see it on my end, the moment that they share it, because the books are flying out. But I want to make sure you guys get a copy. And the cheapest way to get a physical copy of the book is what I just shared, by just going to marketyourmessage.com/free books. Or free book. Let me be very clear. Free book.
Really?
Okay, one more announcement, and then we're going to do the main part of the show, and that is this. Did you ever buy a book and say, man, it would be fun to like go through it with the author, either to ask questions or to hear the backstory behind it, or to have him or her go more in depth on what's being taught in the book, to like teach you through it? Guess what? To celebrate this week, we are doing that. Now, here's the thing. What I'm doing is, originally I was just going to record these 4 videos. So the book is divided into 4 parts. And originally I was going to do 4 parts. I'm thinking 20 or 30 minutes each for each of the 4 parts. So this would be like a 2-hour course that we could sell and or make it as future bonuses to people who purchase the book. Now, here's what we're doing to celebrate this week. Everybody who's watching this and everybody who's on my list can come attend these training sessions live with me for free. No
Drum
cost.
roll.
So they're going to be available starting tonight. And if you got an email from me today, we've already given you all the dates, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with you right now. Essentially, what we're going to do is it's starting tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. So 8 o'clock Eastern. You can watch it on YouTube. Just go over to YouTube, type in Jonathan Milligan, find my channel, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Or right where you're watching today. So in fact, wherever you're watching right now, I will be broadcasting live, 8 o'clock tonight. So just go back to wherever you were, however you got here right now, and I'll be live at 8 o'clock, and we're going to dive into part 1. So here's what this is. This is what I'm calling the Messenger Roadmap Masterclass. It's a 4-part video training series. We're going to start it tonight. And let me know if you're excited. Give some like thumbs up, some hearts, give me some
praise.
likes, some praise, whatever.
Whatever the options
or
are.
just put yes in the comments. Let me know if you're excited about this. This is something, we could very well sell for probably $200 as a separate training that people could buy in addition to the book that you guys get access to for free.
You're a stinker.
So Wednesday night tonight, 8 o'clock is part 1. Believe your message. Tomorrow night, Thursday's part 2.
Same time?
Same time, 8 o'clock p.m. And part 2 is all about defining your message. Part 3 is on Friday night, 8 p.m.
Same time.
Eastern, same time. So tonight, Thursday night, Friday night are all the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And on the third night, we're going to talk about market your message. And then we're going to do a special Saturday session. That's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern. So 4 straight days of diving into this book. You say, Jonathan, I don't have my copy yet. Well, then when you get the copy, it's going to feel a little bit more familiar. You're going to be like, I think I got a better understanding of what's going on in this book. If you have a copy, then bring it as your textbook. So I'm going to call myself Professor Milligan.
Oh, Lordy.
So Professor Milligan can teach you from the book. So looks like people are excited about that. A lot of people saying yes. Awesome. We got people saying, just ordered my copy. Are the books in stores yet? It just depends where you live. You're just going to have to call your local bookstore. I know for some, with COVID, they're either delayed or they're in their warehouse or they're online only. So it all just depends.
Here in our city, the stores that I'm looking into, they're all online only. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if you call Barnes and Nobles or you call Books A Million, they will say, yes, it's in our database. We can ship it to the store here. You can come pick it up or you can whatever, or it might be in the store. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard to know because every place is different. But it is
Hi,
in their
Kevin.
system. Faye says, yes, excited for this 4-part series. I'm going to give you a little preview today, but just a little tiny
You guys are
preview.
sponges. They just like to soak it up. Knowledge.
Jenny's here, said this will be awesome for sure.
Hey,
Very
Jenny.
excited, said Denny. So excited, said Millie. Put it in my Google Calendar. My prepaid book appeared in Kindle yesterday.
Oh,
Yay.
nice.
Awesome.
That's
All
cool.
right, so let's get to the show.
Are you getting ready to push record?
Well, I'm already recording. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh.
But I'm getting ready to start the show, which I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to cut this part out for the podcast.
Okay.
So
I'm going to sneak off.
she doesn't want to.
And will you scoot over so you're covering up that lamp
Yes.
when you do? Okay.
My wife told me to cover up the lamp, so
I'll
we're
be
going to
back.
cover up the lamp.
Do your
Okay.
thing.
All right. So, guys, we are going to do a special edition of the Market Your Message show. It's going to become a podcast for tomorrow, and then Charity will come back for the after show. You guys ready? Let me make sure I am set up and ready to go here. And it looks like we are good. So let's get started. All right, guess what? Today is a special episode of the Market Your Message show because the new book, Your Message Matters, is out. It's available now on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart.com, Target.com, and anywhere books are sold. You can go grab a copy today. So I want to give you a preview of what this book is all about. Let's get started. Hey messengers, welcome to this special episode of the Market Your Message show. I'm your host, Jonathan Milligan, author of the book, Your Message Matters, and this is a special episode because the book is officially available. You can now get access to the book. It's available on Kindle, paperback, hardback book. Also, I'm working on an audiobook. That will be coming down in the days ahead. But I thought it would be fun to actually give you a preview of the book. How would you like the executive summary? How would you like an overview of what this book is about? Now, for some of you who've already purchased the book, this might help you have a better high-level understanding of how the book is structured. For those of you who might be waiting to find out more about this book, maybe after today's episode, you'll know whether this book is right for you or not. Sound good? So before we get into that, I want to let you know that for a limited time, and once the quantities are gone, they're gone, I actually am giving away free books. So you can actually go to marketyourmessage.com/free book while we have quantities available. And I bought the book. All you have to do is pay the shipping. So for $7.95, we'll ship this book anywhere. You can just pay for the shipping and handling, and we will get this book out to you. But again, those are limited quantity copies. Those are separate from the bookstores and Amazon and all that. These are for the paperback. So the paperback book right now, as of this recording, are selling for $16.99. So literally you can get the book half off by going to marketyourmessage.com/freebook, and we will send you a copy. All right. So what I want to do today is I want to kind of walk you through a quick executive summary of what this book is all about. So I'm going to share with you kind of the 4 parts of the book and a little bit of the overview. But before that, here's my desire. My desire when writing this book, here's a couple of things that I wanted to get across. Number 1 is I wanted this book to be kind of 2 big parts. Part 1 was a self-development book, because I truly believe if you're going to be a messenger, if you're going to write, speak, teach, or coach, you got to start by working on yourself first, right? Now, the book, and we'll get into it in a little bit here in just a second, is all about helping you discover your unique gift, your influencer voice, and the audience you want to serve. Once we know those things, now we can move to the practical part of the book. And that's what I wanted in part 2 of the book, is I wanted to be practical, and I wanted to be based on timeless principles and truths. What I did not want to do, because this is a pet peeve of mine, well, I have 2 pet peeves with books, okay? My first pet peeve is when the book just teases you and it's all about pushing you to go buy some bigger package to like really get the goods. I wanted to put everything in this book, so I packed it in there. Like, it's 264 pages. This is how I run my business and how I teach even those in my mastermind how to run and build and grow their business. It is in here. This is not a tease, and hopefully you will feel that. The other thing is, my pet peeve with other books is when they share tools or tactics that are quickly outdated. Build a business with your message, yet you feel completely stuck. That's precisely how Fred, a customer of mine, described his situation of trying to get his message up and running. He said, quote, "It feels like I'm stuck in a tar pit while wondering if my strength, passion, and intrinsic motivation are enough to carry me through. Then, when I do finally ask for help, I'm thrown a rope that leads to more rope and more rope." How about you? Have you felt that way? Have you felt like, I feel completely stuck? I really don't know where to go. I don't know what the next step is. But here's what I said. When we're stuck, we usually think it's because we have no options. But a lack of options is not why we are stuck. Having too many choices is why we are stuck. The good news is there's a remedy for the too many choices situation. The answer is found in the act of defining your message. The path to clarity lies in defining your message. Many of us lack clarity because we have yet to answer 3 important questions. And here's the 3 questions. Number 1, purpose. What is your unique gift? Number 2, people. Who do you want to help? And number 3, passion. What problem will you solve? And then over the next several chapters, we actually go into depth in each of those 3. And to define your message, I want you to nail down once and for all your purpose, your people, and your passion. And then we move to part 3 in the book. Part 3 is all about market your message. So part 1 and part 2, again, was the self-development part. We got to get you ready. Now that you're ready, how do you make it happen practically? In part 3 in market your message, I'm just going to read just a portion of this. I tell a story about me and my brothers. I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, and we would go fishing when we were younger. We lived on this big campground, and we liked to go fishing. So I used a little bit of a story there, and then I transitioned and talked about the fact that to attract and build an audience with your message, you must learn to go fishing. As one survey respondent expressed, quote, "I know I need to find my pond, my tribe, my people who will resonate with my message. But will that pond be big enough to support my message?" And then I go into the fact that I've been there in the not too distant past. I too struggled with how to build an audience with my message. After careful observation of other successful entrepreneurs, though, I made a fascinating discovery. I realized that all successful messengers focused on 4 keystone habits. They all do these 4 things exceptionally well. To help you remember these 4 focusing habits, I've developed a teaching tool that we'll talk about in the next chapter. It's known as the hourglass funnel. Then I go into the hourglass funnel. It's basically 4 things: create, capture, compile, and connect. And those 4 focusing habits is how you market your message and you build it and you grow that audience. All right. And then part 4, and again, I know this is like I'm going through the book in 10 minutes, but part 4, I love this section. It's actually called Live Your Message. How do we live our message each and every day and serve others and help them, right? And so in the book, this is what I said on page 222. Trying to look the part of an expert is exhausting. Can anybody give me an amen? Can you tell me that that's been true for you? It's like, I don't want to promote myself. I don't want this to be about positioning myself as an expert. Well, I agree. Trying to position yourself as an expert is exhausting. This is especially true when we compare ourselves to our competition. Who are we to consider ourselves an expert? We may ask, when others are already executing at a high level. In a recent survey to my email list, one respondent, Camille, summarized it best. This is what she said. Why would someone listen to my message if I'm a new voice on a well-covered subject? Can I be an expert if I have only personal anecdotes and don't have original research and or data to back up what I'm saying? My message and platform feels like a folding table with a hand-lettered sign, while my competition has a bigger booth with colorful awnings and a glittering array of inventory. Wow. First of all, I want to say, Camille, you need to be a writer because you just expressed it so well. So I'll say that. But this is what I follow it up with. It's hard to be an expert, but it's easy to be a guide. The goal of an expert is to prove to everyone that they're the expert. But the role of a guide is to simply serve others. Can you serve others? Can you be willing to just serve them, help them, encourage them? Sure you can. And this is what I said. Stop trying to be the hero and start serving others as the guide. And then over the last few chapters of the book, I talk about these 3 concepts. Number 1, encouraging hearts, moving people from discouragement to hope. Number 2, educating heads, moving people from doubt to confidence. And then finally, empowering hands, moving people from delay to action. Listen, you become the guide and people will start following you when you have captured their head, their heart, and their hands. When you capture someone's heart, they'll follow you anywhere. When you encourage them, when you give them education, knowledge, they will follow you. And when you give them practical actions that they can take, they will follow you. So that is the overview of the book. I hope that gives you an understanding of how the book works. And like I mentioned before, if you don't have your copy yet, you can actually, for a limited time, get a free copy of the book. All you got to do is cover the shipping and handling. Just go to marketyourmessage.com/free book. Well, I hope this was a good episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you get the book, I'd love to hear what you think. Take a moment and go back into Amazon or wherever you purchased the book and leave a review and let me know what you thought. Well, until then, we'll see you on the next episode of the Market Your Message show. And never forget, your message matters. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry again for that technical snafu. It looks like, a good portion of you were able to find me back here again. But we did get a clean recording, so I think we are good on that. So we're going to take just a couple of questions here and bringing Charity back in. Bringing you back in as well. If you missed it earlier, Charity, this is my wife.
Hello.
And we've been having fun talking about the book this week. What questions do you guys have? What questions do you have? And again, sorry if you asked your question before it went down. I don't have those questions anymore, but I would love to get some thoughts, comments, questions. That would be awesome.
I brought the book.
Oh yeah, while we're waiting for some questions to pop in, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is an old edition of the Acres of Diamonds book. And it's pretty old. I gotta be careful even opening it. 1915 is when this book was published. And this is by Russell Conwell. And Charity gave this to me as a gift. So as a surprise on launch day, she gave me this book. Now here's what's cool. This book was published in 1915. Do you realize that's 105 years ago?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Are you being very careful?
Yes, I'm being very careful. 105 years ago. And here, this book is talking about the impact that this book had on the author. This is the cool part for you writers and you authors out there. When you write and publish a book, that book has the ability for years, even after you're gone, to make an impact on people. That's why I love this idea. Writing books isn't easy, but writing books can be lasting. And whether you get a traditional published deal or you just self-publish it, that work is a legacy that you can leave on forever. And let me just say this too. A couple years ago, I heard a speaker mention this and they just kind of flew right past it. And I went, whoa, hold on a second. Do you realize that we live in an amazing time? In fact, we are the first generation in human history to leave a digital legacy. You know what that means? The podcast you're recording, the live streams you're doing, the YouTube videos you're doing are all going to be there long after you're gone. I can't tell you how many Zig Ziglar podcast episodes I've listened to. Now, he's got people on his team that are still carrying that on. Kevin Miller's one of them. But I still go back and listen to the old Zig Ziglar podcast. And they're still an encouragement to me. We are able to leave a digital legacy where you can turn on a microphone, you can turn on the camera, you can share your passion with the world that helps other people and leave that impact. And so here we have 2 books. And by the way, if you haven't read or know anything about Acres of Diamonds, I do a summary and introduction because this book was powerful in helping me understand what was unique about me, that I had a gift to share and how to find it. All right, so let's see here. We got some questions here. Terry, and let me actually go back to the main camera here.
Question?
I don't think so. Oh, right here. Terry, your book is such a gift to all of us aspiring entrepreneurs. Thanks so much for sharing a gift with us and for this special episode. Thanks for powering through the glitch too. You're welcome. Hey, listen, technology challenges are never going away. You just roll with it, ladies and gentlemen. You just roll with it. What can you do? All right. Jenny says, so exciting. Way to go, Charity.
Ah, That's one of the packages that said Christmas Milligan on it. So he did not open it because I was going to give it to him for Christmas. And then I decided, oh, this might be cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did. It was cool. Cool gift. Terry, what is your favorite section of your book? In that book, and the book is too cool. Charity's so awesome. So I don't know if that was to me or to you. Which section of the book?
Oh, I've only
But
read
you've
to
only
like
read-
page 42 or something.
Hey, I will say this though. I did cheat and look, and she has underlined
Oh, yeah.
parts of the book. So
It's not like, there's too many nuggets not to underline. Yeah.
yeah, and you had
Up to page 42 at least.
but before that, you hadn't read it. Like I've been working on it for
No. Only what you've read to us, little sections.
little
and stuff.
sections.
No.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to read more because if I come back on here again, I need to get past page 42.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the audiobook. That's what I really want.
There are, this is hard for me to choose, but if I had to really choose, I would say chapter 16, Encouraging Hearts. That was probably the chapter for me that was like, it gets to the depth of why we do what we do. And what I love about it is I did the research around the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit without spoiling it too much. Hopefully I don't spoil it. Go read it because I'm not going to be able to give it justice right now. But if any of you have read any of C.S. Lewis or J.R.R. Tolkien, phenomenal works, right? Between, we all love the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, especially when they got turned into movies. But the books were awesome too. But then we also enjoy equally like the Lord of the Rings. Well, what most people don't know is that J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis were friends. In fact, they were kind of in a mastermind together. And the reason I say that is because I open up chapter 16 about the importance of moving people from discouragement to hope, regardless of what your ideal audience is. People are people, and people live in discouragement. And as a guide, one of your roles is to give hope to people. And basically, I dug out some research of where J.R.R. Tolkien said, if it weren't for the persistent encouragement of C.S. Lewis, The Lord of the Rings would have never been written. Can you imagine like how many people have been impacted by the books and the movies? To like not have that in the world was like hanging on a thread by encouragement from a friend saying, you got to keep writing this. You got to keep writing this. You got to keep producing this. Don't stop. This is good. People are going to want to hear this. And so chapter 16 about how to move people from discouragement to hope.
Page 225. I have almost 200 pages to go.
It's a very, very short chapter, but it's one of my favorite. So, good question. Yes, Phil. Phil says you're a lucky man. I know.
Thank you for saying so, though.
Not a question. Just wanted to say I feel weirdly proud of you. You don't have to feel weird about it. You did such a great job on your book. So authentic. It speaks to the heart and so encouraging. The English teacher was so wrong.
Thanks for saying that, Gwen. That's sweet. That made me teary. That was sweet.
Joanne says books are life-changing. Yes, they are. A question from Kevin. I want to share your book with my pastor friends and Christian leaders that I know and meet to help them share the gospel. How can I best gather them to introduce the book to them? Webinars, Eventbrite meeting? Yeah, good question. I would.
Yes.
I'm processing.
It's funny because we have side conversations about how he could use his book for our church too. So it's just interesting that you have that question.
Yeah, so I've already had my church ask me, Jonathan, I know this isn't necessarily a book just for Christians because it's not. It has principles, biblical principles in it, but this book is for anybody who wants to be a messenger. But I got asked that, and I would say the two parts of it are I would say the defining your message, where it's whether let's say you're a pastor or even if you're in a nonprofit organization, uncovering what your gift is important, and then getting clear on what's the problem we're trying to solve. So I think part 2, define your message, and then I really think part 4, living your message. If pastors and churches can grab a hold of what is in the live your message, where it's, okay, my goal as a pastor or as a Christian leader is to, how can I educate heads, encourage hearts, and empower hands? Like
Just off the top of your head. Is that just off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, that's what those 3 chapters are about.
Oh, it's like, that was pretty clever.
No, that's actually what the 3 chapters in that section are about. So if you can, like, if we can live that out, like the people who we are called to serve, if we can help educate their heads, encourage their hearts, and empower their hands, then we can get a great work done. So, but your question was more on how to best gather them.
Yeah.
And I would say, how are they already gathering? Like, go to wherever they're gathering. Are they gathering monthly to talk about church life? Are they
on podcast? Are they?
Yeah, or are they used to doing Zoom calls, and you could just say, hey, I'm going to do a Zoom call about a book that I've been reading that I think would be really, really helpful to you. Yeah, so something like that. Or even, Kevin, if it'd be helpful, I wouldn't be able to do it like next week, but if it'd be helpful, encourage them to like show up, like a Zoom call. I'll show up, and I'd be happy to answer their questions and talk to them. And you could say, hey, this book, I know the author, and the author is going to come and talk about how you can implement this to your church or church staff. I'd be happy to do that too.
That'd be cool.
So just reach out to Roxanne, because she knows my calendar better than I do. Roxanne at marketyourmessage.com.
What is this?
This right here?
Yeah.
Phil says, I have a framed copy of Zig's
What's
biscuits.
LP?
Is that the, what does that LP stand for? Is that the audio? Biscuits, Fleas, and Pump Handles, hanging in my office. Imagine buying a Zig album back in the day. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, my word.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's, okay, that might be the next gift you get.
Yeah, I got to hear him speak in person one time, and I actually had a correspondence with his secretary that he had for years and years and years that he always talked about trying to meet him when he was in town, and we just couldn't work it out. I really wanted to meet him. Let's see. Let's see if we just maybe have 1 or 2 more questions. And then we will wrap this up. Millie says, thank you. What you just shared is so powerful. You're welcome, Millie. Excited to have you read the book. Jenny says, sorry, I've missed part of this today. Can I share on my Facebook about the free book offer? Yes. So anybody can do that. You're welcome to do that. Marketyourmessage.com/free book. That's available to anyone. Denny says, words live on forever. Yes, they can.
So LP is a record.
Yeah. I knew that's probably what it was.
I know what a record is.
Yeah. One of these things we have like over my shoulder right here. Millie says, you as a person are already so encouraging. Your humility breaks down any ego barriers and allows us to really hear you. I appreciate that, Millie. Those are kind words. I just try to be myself. Like, I stopped trying to be like other people.
He really is nice.
That's good. I mean, that's good that the wife says that. Because sometimes people have a stage presence.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. And I was being funny, but that's.
I like to think I'm the same person.
Yes, yes.
If you were hanging out in my house, I'd be the same as if I'm on this live stream.
Very true.
That's what I hope to be anyway.
What does that mean?
It's too difficult to be two different things. Oh, can you show your resourceful stone, like the stone that I have? It's right behind Charity.
I got you.
Charity made this for me, and this was actually, I talked about this in the book.
Wait.
Yeah, hold it higher.
Sorry. Oh, I am not good at this. Okay, so basically, this is when we discovered, it finally clicked that resourcefulness was actually a gift and not just something that John was good at or that he enjoyed, but it was actually like a gift of his. So this is just, I cut out letters out of a magazine or something and just put some glue across it onto a rock. Is this from the Appalachian Trail? Okay. So this is one of the 25 rocks that I kept putting in John's backpack as we walked the Appalachian Trail, and he carried all these rocks, like big rocks. He was so sweet.
Yeah, and I tell that story, if you guys haven't read it yet, I tell that story in the chapter about purpose, chapter 7. The whole story about finding that rock and having that rock. So now you've seen it.
Gwen feels old that we don't know what LP is. I just don't know stuff. It's not.
No, I know what LP is.
I know what a record is. I listened to records in
I was trying to make sure
school.
it wasn't like he was abbreviating something that was with
Yeah.
the title. So.
Sorry. We're in our mid-40s, so I
Hey,
don't know if
listen,
that makes you feel old or not.
I remember driving in a car and throwing in the old 8-track. So not
I
me,
remember
not me,
8-tracks.
not me driving, but I remember as a kid being in a car and somebody putting in the 8 tracks.
I don't remember 8 tracks. I
Oh, yeah, I
we had
remember 8
newer
tracks.
cars than you, I guess.
I remember the 8 tracks. I also remember not wearing seatbelts. I remember having like a bench for the front seat, and I remember sliding around on the seat in the back seat because we never wore seatbelts.
Oh, we didn't wear seatbelts. Oh no, Dad would purposely swerve just so that we could tumble in the back. It was fun.
Yeah. Awesome. So many great comments. Thank you guys. Steve, I like this. Yes. Thanks for sharing today. You both make me recall the words from Brennan Manning. Be who you is, because if you is who you ain't, then you ain't who you is. I love that.
It'll take me a minute to process that. That's a lot of work.
Another one I've always heard is just be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. So
Hey.
there you go.
That's good too. This is fun. So no questions for me?
Okay. Any last minute questions for
This
Charity?
is it,
here?
because I don't come every week.
You guys got her here. Any questions? And it could be related from a spouse perspective. I know for a lot of people, they have a spouse who maybe doesn't necessarily understand what they're doing, as far as like, I'm buying a domain name. Maybe talk about that for a second while we're waiting to see if we have any questions about, like, I would come to you and tell you things along my journey of what I was doing, and you're like trying to understand but didn't understand, but yet we're supportive.
So I don't even know where to begin. Like, my dad was an entrepreneur, so I knew what it was like to have the man in my life, like, do one thing, do another thing, do another thing. So that wasn't foreign to me. So that may be a hurdle for some people. But I know it probably started for me whenever you were teaching and you were miserable. Like, you were not happy. You were not alive. And I remember saying, just quit teaching. I don't care what you do. Just, you're not allowed to teach anymore. Like, I just told them, you're done. Tell them you're not going back. I don't care what you do. You're not doing that. So I think just him being more important than entrusting him, I guess, but him being more important than a certain profile of a career person was important to me. And it just rumbled outside. I don't know. Tell me another question,
No, that's
because
good.
my brain kind of stopped
good.
for a second.
That's good. And what I would say on my end, what I discovered, and this is from conversations, what I discovered is what was most important was for me as the husband to provide security for her, because that's what she wanted. she wanted to know that, number one, I wasn't going to do anything that was completely stupid, right? But second of all, my security wasn't necessarily, I can provide you $5,000 from my business next week. It was security in
you. I trusted you and your character and your desire to take care of us. And like, so I obviously, maybe faith is a gift of mine, because obviously my trust was in God, but I trusted him and I allowed him to be a security for me and not the number in the bank or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I always wanted her to know that, listen, even if I'm doing this thing early in the mornings, and I did it early in the mornings, and I still had another day job at the time, I was going to be able to manage both, because I wanted to make sure we were taken care of.
And I think you talked to me too.
We had regular discussions.
You would try to explain things to me, and I didn't always understand what you were doing, but you still tried to include me. And you would also, and you still do, let me have a say. Like, you would ask my advice and actually listen to me and allow me to have a part of it. But I would say at the very beginning, like, I didn't understand why anybody would give him money because he told them how to do something, because he was teaching them something. Like, that did not make sense to me. And when he first started doing that, he was trying to sell a product. I don't know if I can get this right exactly, but sell a product to people who did not have a job and were looking for a job. And he was going to give them a course of how to find a job. And I'm like, the people don't have a job. They don't have money. Why are they going to give you money so they can get a job? Like, it didn't make sense to me. And then when people actually started giving him money for that, I was like shocked. Like, I could not believe it. And then when he made his first $1,000 or whatever, I was like, this is crazy. Why are people doing this? And then he's like, you know, as he progressed and learned more things, and he's like, I think we could pay for our mortgage with like this side money that I'm doing. And it just blew my mind. And I think the more success he got under his belt too, the more confidence I had in him. So include your wife or husband.
Communication.
In communication, include them and
but don't
give them what they need. So whatever that is.
Don't expect them to get everything though and understand everything. Like, I realized that if I tried to go in too much detail, it was like, John, that's your thing. I want to like know what you're doing, but I don't need to know all the ins and outs.
Yeah. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so Gwen wants to know, where are you from?
Oh my word.
With that accent.
So I'm from Florida, Northeast Florida, but
Born and raised.
But when I went to visit Jonathan's family in Indiana, they said I was so country and southern, and I did not hear that at all. So my mom is from Central Florida. My dad's from North Carolina. And people say I sound country. So I think my sisters sound more country than me, actually.
They do. And your mom.
And my mom. She's
if they're
so
watching,
cute.
we love you.
We love you. They're cute, though.
But they're more country.
So North Florida. I don't know. Actually, within like 10 miles of where I am right now. I haven't moved far.
Awesome. Awesome. So many great comments. Thank you, guys. Yes. We're not going to be able to get to all of them. And I know we're over our time. We had that little glitch. But, guys, thanks for being here. Don't forget one more announcement. Don't forget about our Masterclass. It's starting tonight at 8 p.m. Wherever you're watching right now, I will be back here live, and we are going to dive into part 1 of the book. We're going to go way more detail than I did today, and I'm going to share with you some of my favorite parts of part 1, which is all about believing you have a message. How do you believe you have a message? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern.
Thanks for
We'll
letting
see
me
you
come.
back here again. And what do you guys think? We should have her show up some more. I think we should.
I'd love to.
Makes it more fun. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day.
You guys have a good day. Thanks for coming.
And we'll see those that want to be in class for Professor Milligan.
All the sponges are going to show up tonight.
Bring your textbook. If you don't have your textbook yet, it's okay. Bring a notebook.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I forgot to go to the after party final outro. So here we go. Let's try it again. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Bye.